There were a lot of NFL coaches today that got fired, but the biggest one of them all, the one that really like made me go Scooby Doo, like, huh? Was Marvin Lewis. Can you believe Cincinnati finally? It seemed like 20 years. They finally let Marvin Lewis go, and I'm like, why y'all let Marvin Lewis go now? I thought he had some stock in the team, or I thought he had a video on the owner or something. I mean, I remember when Party Interruption first came on ESPN, and that's how long Marvin Lewis has been in tenure with Cincinnati. That's when Tony Kornheiser and Michael Wilborn had the buddy cop, black guy, white guy, in show Party Interruption, which is still on, by the way. And Tony Kornheiser, so it was very freaky how he said this. He said if Marvin Lewis gets a winning record out of them Bengals, because they were known as the Bungles back then, call him Vince Lombardi. Well, I guess they must have took heed to that because he was stuck at that job for a grip. I mean, Marvin Lewis started coaching the Bengals back when MySpace was the thing to have, before everybody jumped on Facebook, before Twitter. That's You have to go through all the technology to understand how long his reign has been. And what's so comical about it, Jeff Fisher, who got fired by the Rams last year, at least had a runner-up appearance in the Super Bowl, even though he stayed with the Rams about 10, 12 years too long. But Marvin Lewis was 0-7 in the playoffs, and they missed the playoffs like 5 years. And I'm thinking, y'all wasting A.J. Green's career. A.J. Green is one of the 6 or 7 best wideouts in the NFL. Maybe it would be even higher if he had a playoff caliber situation. But when you don't see the postseason, except when you're playing Madden at your crib, then, it's just like, I mean, it is really sad to say how that all thing unfold. But, and I'm always glad to see a brother getting a job as a coach. But Marvin Lewis was there a long time, and he was mediocrity to subpar. And that's a waste of talent, because even though Andy Dalton to me is overrated, they deserve better than that. It's not like they had some score. They actually had a legit team, and this year they look like they're going to be okay. But they always start off, I always say, too bad the season ain't half the season, or they might look like a contender, because then they end up folding up and they end up being 7-9, 6-10. And it's the same old same. So I guess but I don't know what made the difference this time, because I mean Marvin Lewis been doing mediocrity for them a long time. They done dumb stuff. They've been self-destructive, and they've always come up short. Just they've been their own worst enemy. So it finally happened, and I don't know if it was because he brought Hugh Jackson over, and I don't know what it was that made Cincinnati say, well, we're going to see the light and bounce him. But that was a surprise that Marvin Lewis finally got gone from Cincinnati. Surprised that they actually did it. It's not a shock, but it's a surprise, because it's like, yo, well, where y'all been the last 10 years? The last 5, he been just sitting up, and then I'm being real. I want brothers to have a gig. Yeah, I do. But you gotta come correct. You gotta come correct. Now, on the other hand, I think Vance Joseph got ran out of Denver a little too soon. It ain't his fault that John Elway would be drafting them old poochie quarterbacks who are third tier and they're busters. It ain't his fault. That's not his fault. And the brother with Arizona ain't his fault. Cat deserve a little time. But Marvin Lewis, he had more than enough time. I'm like, he had a lifetime. And he's coaching Cincinnati long to play. Like he had stock in them or something. So anyway, that's my take of Cincinnati Bengals letting Marvin Lewis go finally after all this time, and they've been mediocre as all get out. All right, that's my take. Feel free to leave them comments. I'm out. Peace.